Today we will start next unit, that is insulating materials. The lecture flow will be general properties of insulating material, thermal classification, dielectric gases, liquid and solid insulating material, insulation measurement, insulating materials for electrical devices. Before beginning the actual syllabus content, firstly we will see what is electrical insulating material. The material which does not allow the electrical current pass through the material is known as a electrical insulating material. It provides very high resistance path to electrical current, so it is impossible to the electrical current conduct through the material. It is used in overhead transmission line between the tower and conductor for preventing the flow of electric current from the conductor to earth. Now we will see basic atomic structure of insulating material. The insulators are the material that have valence electrons 8 or nearer to the 8. When valence electrons are 8, obviously the atom is in stable condition and it offer very high resistance to number of free electrons. Also, forbidden energy gap between conduction and valence band is more. Firstly, we will see what is mean by valence electrons. These are the electrons exist in last orbit of the atom. These electrons are responsible to electrical conductivity of material. Now we will see basic atomic structure of copper. In case of copper, in last orbit there is only one valence electrons is present, so it is very less resistance offered to the valence electrons, so the copper is the best conductive material. In case of insulating material, there are 8 or nearer to the 8 valence electrons are present. So in this case, this atom offer very high resistance to the valence electron. So therefore, it is very difficult for electrical current to flow in the material. So in this case, the current flow is impossible and material offer very high resistance. Next point is thermal classification of insulating material. First is Class Y insulating material. Class Y materials includes cotton, silk, paper, cellulose, wood, etc. These materials neither impregnated or nor immersed in oil. Class Y insulating materials not suitable for electrical machine and apparatus. It is suitable with 90 degree Celsius. Next material is Class A insulating material. Class A insulation consists of material such as cotton, silk, paper, etc. These materials are impregnated or immersed in dielectric oil. The operating temperature of Class A insulation is 105 degrees Celsius. Next insulating material is Class E insulating material. Class E insulation consists of materials or combinations of materials which by experience or test can be shown to be capable of operation at Class E temperature. Class E temperature insulating material can withstand up to 120 degree Celsius. Next insulating material is Class B. Class B insulation consists of materials or combinations of material such as mica, glass fiber, asbestos, etc. with suitable bonding, impregnating or coating substance. Class B insulation withstand up to 130 degree Celsius. Next point is Class F insulating material. Class F insulation consists of materials or combinations of material such as mica, glass fiber, asbestos with suitable bonding, impregnating or coating substance as well as other materials or combinations of materials not necessarily inorganic which by experience or test can be shown to be capable of operation at class F temperature. Class F insulating material used up to 155 degree Celsius rating. Next insulating material is Class H. Class H insulation consists of materials such as silicon elastomer and combinations of materials such as mica, glass fiber, asbestos with bonding, impregnating or coating substance. Class H insulating material is used up to 180 degrees Celsius. Next insulating material is Class C insulation. It is consist of materials or combinations of materials such as mica, porcelain, glass cords with or without inorganic binder. Other materials or combinations of other materials may be included in this class. Class C insulating material can be used above 180 degree Celsius. Nextly, we will see what is the impregnated process. The impregnated process is the process by adding the mineral oil, the dielectric strength of insulating material will increase and this process is called as a impregnated process. Next point is dielectric gases. The classification of dielectric material into the three types. First is gases. Second is solid. Third is liquid. In case of gases, air, sulfur hexafluoride that is SF6 and vacuum are considered. In case of solid dielectric material, PVC, natural rubber, ceramic and mica. In case of liquid dielectric material, mineral oil is considered. Mineral oil is used in the transformer for insulation and cooling purpose. Next point we will see breakdown occurred in dielectric gases. Firstly, we will see ionization process. Whenever high voltage applied across dielectric gases, gas become conductive material and its property is spoiled and breakdown occurred. Nextly, we will see ionization process has two types. First is primary ionization, second is secondary ionization. Both processes are responsible for breakdown in dielectric gases. Primary ionization process is divided into the two categories. First, ionization by collision. Second is photoionization. What do you mean by ionization by collision? Consider two plates. It is connected across high voltage. One plate is considered as a cathode and it has negative charge, and one plate considered as anode and it has positive charge. Both plates are separated by air as a dielectric gas. Whenever high voltage applied, the electrons that collide with the gas molecules result electrons is generated in gas medium, and also positive ions also generated. These free electrons generated are responsible for breakdown in dielectric gases. First thing is, whenever we apply high voltage, electrons generated in air, electrons are generated. These electrons start collide with the gas atom. After collision, it produces positive ion and free electrons, and these free electrons is responsible for breakdown in dielectric gases. Nextly, we will see photoionization. In case of photoionization, the cathode has negative charge. Whenever we apply ultraviolet rays over cathode plate, whenever we apply ultraviolet rays over cathode plate, it starts producing free electrons, and these free electrons are responsible for breakdown in dielectric gases. Next point, we will see secondary ionization process. In case of secondary ionization process, same process is happen, means whenever we apply high voltage across two plates, electrons starts generated in air, then a collision with the gas atom and free electrons will happen. It produces positive ion and free electrons. So in this case, positive ion start attracting towards cathode plates and electrons are starts attracting towards the anode plate. It is similar like the same charge will repel each other and opposite charge are attract each other. This process will generated another electrons, and these electrons are responsible for breakdown in gas material. Next point is properties of dielectric gases. Following are the properties of dielectric gas. First is high dielectric strength. The dielectric gases having a high dielectric strength. Dielectric strength means maximum dielectric stress with the material can withstand. Next, fine heat transfer. It is incombustible. Next, it is chemically inactive against construction material used. Next, it is not chemically reactive. Next, environmentally it is not poisonous. Next, small temperature of condensation. Next, high thermal consistency and low cost. These are some properties of dielectric gas. Nextly, we will see application of dielectric gas. Next point is applications of dielectric gases. It is used in transformer, radar waveguide, circuit breakers, switch gears, high voltage switching, coolants. They are usually used in high voltage applications.